Welcome again to the channel. Noah White here once again. It's a bright sunny day. I probably look a lot lighter than usual, but today I'm gonna be working on the Lexus again. Today my goal would be to at least mount the intercooler, maybe get some of the piping on. I'm not exactly sure yet because I don't know you know, how well all this stuff's gonna fit. I don't know if I'm gonna have to drill a hole where intercooler piping needs to go. I don't know any of that quite yet. So I was able to get or start getting the oil feed on. I'm gonna just be using the oil filters, you know, sandwich plate that comes with the cxracing kit. It does come with a little gasket already on it. This gasket side makes sure goes towards the engine block, and then they provide 3 different ports to run the oil line. This is a supplied oil line, this guy right here. So this guy will get screwed into there. What I don't like about this line is that these fittings are not like swivel at all. So I'm probably going to install this line first, and then I will try to fish it down and put the oil filter adapter on. And then I don't know how I'm going to run it. I don't know if I'm going to like run it like along the back of the motor, or I'm trying to hide it. I don't like it. Just looks tacky if I just have it just running straight over the engine, but that might be what I have to do. I'm not sure yet, but I don't know. Hopefully we'll figure that out. I drained the oil already. Well, I actually had the oil drained because remember I did the turbo drain, so there isn't any oil in the engine right now. I just went up and bought some more oil. Just running this Castrol Edge. I always run Castrol Edge. It's full synthetic, high mileage motor oil. Works really good. Then I got a new oil filter, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to slap that feed on there, and I'll get right back to you guys in a moment. I got the oil feed sandwich adapter onto the block. I went on ahead and ran that ugly stainless steel line back there. I know, it's probably not that bad, but I mean, there's really no nice way to have it come off and get to the turbo, but it's there and should work just fine. I don't know if you'll be able to see down here where I have it at. I have it coming straight out of the sandwich plate out the top. And you can see I use one of those fittings that they gave. That's what's actually holding on the sandwich plate, and then I'm going to go ahead and screw the oil filter onto that. So I did use Teflon tape on the other plugs, and I used some Teflon tape on this feed, and yeah, it just goes up behind the intake manifold. Sorry, it's really bright, and should be good to go. Now I just got to pull off this bumper and try and start fitting the intercooler. In case there are those who are wondering, I am going to be running the cxracing intercooler kit. I did just buy the entire turbo kit from cxracing. I did get the black couplers, so hopefully everything is in this box that I need. The intercooler is down in that other box that's in there, but yeah, hopefully they do have everything that I need. Got the bumper off, got the little bumper, I don't know, absorption pad, whatever the heck it's called, I don't know. But got that off. Don't know if I have to take off this crash bar or not yet. I'll find that out when I get there. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull this stuff out of the box and kind of just mock it up and see what it looks like. Okay, and still sticking with traditional cxracing fashion, this thing is not 100% bolt-on like they said it would be. Granted, I know there are some things you're gonna have to modify, but you would think when they designed the kit, they would, you know, try to have you not have to cut so many things. First off, this black bar right here goes across that holds the top of the intercooler. It needs to be secured with the factory condenser bolts, which are those now shiny guys right here. I don't know why they thought that you could take the factory bolt off, stick in a thicker piece of metal, and then think that the factory bolt was long enough. It's not. So you're gonna have to get 2 longer bolts for that. Secondly, when you put the intercooler up here to get bolted up on top, it completely hits this piece right here. That guy right there. So you're gonna have to completely chop that back. I'm gonna just try and follow this line right here of this bar straight back and down and just cut that out. And also the horns, which usually sit right here in this hole and on the other hole, you can't fit those in there because the intercooler is going to be in the way. So I didn't know that. I'm going to try to stick them back in there once I get the intercooler in there, but I don't know if they're going to fit. That would kind of suck if they don't, because I need a horn. I mean, I don't need a horn, but I want a horn. There it is, guys. Got the intercooler on. I got it as level as I could. It's pretty close to level. I went on ahead and test fit the crash bar as you saw just a minute ago. But it's in there. It's looking good. I was able to put the horns back in. All I did was flip them around and mounted them back in. They're not permanently mounted, but shouldn't have a problem there. Again, there's very little room. I mean, I don't care that the horns are hitting that. There are some AC lines down there at the bottom that might pose a problem, but so far it seems okay. There isn't really any instructions on this. You would think it'd be pretty straightforward. Obviously this black bar goes on the top. It did come with these extra spacers. I don't really know what these are for quite yet. And there's also these down here on the bottom. Maybe that holds the bottom of the intercooler. I don't know. I have this one ran to the side over here with the factory bolt. Same on that side, and those turned out perfect. So this thing is actually in here really solid. I don't even think you need to mount anything else really. Alright, now that the intercooler is on, here comes the job of trying to piece together all of these clamps and silicone couplers and intercooler pipes. There aren't any instructions in this kit, so I'm probably just going to be looking at their website to try to get some kind of idea, because there are some pictures of an IS on there with this kit on it, and that's how I was able to get the intercooler on. So I'm hoping I can kind of figure this out, and I'm really hoping I don't have to cut into the body. The only part that concerns me is which pipe to use right here, and also what pipe comes back up through here, since there's not a tremendous amount of space, and I really don't want to be cutting any of this, so I hope I don't have to. Alright, I got the first intercooler pipe fitted on there. Just so you know, it is the S-shaped looking fitting. I have all the couplers laid out. I'm glad that these things are actually labeled with sizes. There are a lot of 2.5 inch sizes, which is the bottom one, and then there's 2.75, so makes it pretty easy to know what goes where based on that fact alone. Anyway, got that on there. I'll show you the bottom. You guys know how to get this on there. Very tight squeeze, but that one comes down off the turbo, goes right below the radiator hose, and then it goes into a 45-degree coupling, and this is kind of just hanging down. This actually is supposed to be up here like this. It comes straight across the bottom, and then there's a little bracket that comes off the bottom of the radiator support here to hold this pipe up. And then it'll loop around and go into the intercooler there. Okay, so I got the rest of the intercooler piping on for one side. You have the S pipe coming out of the turbo to a 90-degree bend. Then that goes to a straight pipe to a U type bend. 45 coupler here. Straight coupler, and then a 45 down there at the bottom. You do need to tuck this up way up high around the tow hook here. I did have to trim out a lot of this plastic splash shield just to get the space I needed. I might not have had to do that, but I went on ahead and did it anyway. And so yeah, that's all on, all tightened on this side. Now I'm going to try and figure out the other side. Alright, so moving on to this side. Again, I did not know that now I'm going to have to drill or hole saw a piece out of the fender in order to get this intercooler pipe up in there. I mean, I guess I could find out by the pictures and deduce that they had to cut a hole, but you're gonna have to cut a hole. I am just guessing like somewhere in here. I don't know how big it needs to be. I don't want a giant hole, but I do want to make sure that everything fits. So I went on ahead and got a hole drilled out for the intercooler piping. I put the throttle body on so that I can kind of line up this pipe to where roughly it needs to go. And this was probably a bigger hole that I needed to cut. This is a 3.5 inch hole that I cut. Honestly, I just went to Harbor Freight. If you guys want to grab this little set here, I don't know what it is called. Part number 57524. I got it from Harbor Freight. It was 14 bucks. Goes from I think a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch all the way up to 5 inch, and it worked absolutely beautifully. I will probably never use it again, but I did cut a 3.5 inch hole, and so that's there. Look at it from the bottom. I gotta still get that piece out of there, but I'm hoping I cut it in the correct spot, roughly where it needs to go. So let me see if I can fit the pipe up in there now, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Finally got that fitted on there. Again, much struggle just to get it on, but it's on now. It's tightened up. Got it up to the throttle body. Trying to get this one on was the hardest thing, but it seems like I got my hole drilled pretty close to where it needs to be. There's a little bit of wiggle room in here, not too much. I might try and like put a spacer on the other side so that that coupling is not just rubbing up on a sharp piece of metal. I think I'm good to just leave the throttle body on as of now. I don't know yet if I'm gonna take it back off to try to delete the there's like a butterfly valve inside of these intake manifolds, and they're operated by vacuum, and I don't think I need that, nor do I want to run it, but I might just leave it for now, just try to get the car started and running, and kind of just deal with that later on. But as of now, the intercooler kit is officially on. I haven't test fitted the bumper yet. I kind of just like to look at it right now, so I hope the bumper fits like it should. I hope I don't have to trim any of that out, but overall, man, it's looking pretty good, guys. So that's gonna do it for this video. You have to excuse me, it's been getting hot where I live at, plus I have allergies, so I'm always just looking like a zombie, but it is what it is. Hope you guys like this video. The cxracing intercooler kit is now on. Pretty stoked about that. Getting really close to me. I'm gonna start this thing up for the first time. Hopefully everything goes correct, fingers crossed. But if you guys like this video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share with your boys, and I'll see you guys on the next time. Peace.